Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another BTNeanderthal video. Today we are talking about basically everything that I have experienced through the closed beta. We're going to cover everything. The TLDR is basically right here, the tier list, and I will leave this in the description below. Definitely go check that out. But we're going to do a little bit of a breakdown of some things in the tier list, give you some details behind each one, maybe some things that I think are going to be nerfed, the things that I think are going to be meta, all these different things. As far as everything else, I'm just going to cover the overview of what's happening in Season 3 and what I think is kind of cool. So, let's start. So basically, the meta has changed, as we have seen with the tier list. And not only that, there's been a lot of changes. So there's been a few patches on the 14th. Again, closed beta has been going on since I don't even remember. Honestly, I don't know. A few days, something like that. I can't remember. But multi-shot has seen a massive nerf. Still usable, still strong. And I'm liking to see that. I'm just really enjoying some of these changes that Senpai has done. The overall build balance has just been better now. Like I said right before season 1 started for Project Diablo 2 that it's probably going to take a few seasons for this game to be balanced fairly well, and guess what? Now we're in 3rd season. I think we're actually achieving that. I'm pretty happy with what Senpai has done so far. A few things here that are really, really cool that I actually kind of like are probably my favorite change, actually, is, if I can find it, dude. Again, you can see there's a ton of patch notes here. But this thing, people are really upset about this. But I'm going to leave a little thing in my description here that's going to explain what this actually does. A little breakdown that Macro Bio Boy, shout out to him, good friend of mine, and on Max Roll team, did a little breakdown of what actually happens here. Overall, this is actually really good for the season's health and length. So you can look and read that whole thing in the description. I have that description, or I have that whole breakdown for what this actually does, but it's good for us. This is good. So don't you worry, there's still going to be tons of loot, but this is good for the season. You won't be quitting 3 weeks in or 2 weeks in or 4 weeks in, whatever. You'll still have some content to play, which I'm very happy to see. Some other things too that I was actually not surprised or not expecting is now Blizzard has this huge buff, which brings it to the top of the tier list, in my opinion. It just shreds. It shreds. That's 50% increased projectile size is insane. I think this could get nerfed. As of right now, I just finished today's updates and testing. I think it could get nerfed, but honestly, this S plus tier now is not as crazy as it once was. I could almost bring all these to S instead of S plus. We're starting to get there. Lightning Fury's on is very, very strong. All these builds are super strong. So, as you can see on the tier list. But I'm very happy to see these changes. We've seen the auras change, which was probably my favorite here. One of my favorites here. Conviction aura from LOD values. Very good. Now we get the chills down our spine when we, from LOD, when we come across conviction. It's oh snap, we really got to be aware that we just came across conviction. Overstacking res can be important, all that stuff. Very happy about that. They did decrease the radius back to LOD ranges for the auras. So no more you pop to say seal and the whole Chaos Sanctuary is fanaticism. Now it's just the LOD range. So that's good with the buffs that the auras have now. They can also have vigor, and they also have concentration instead of blessed aim. So really cool changes. I'm happy to see all this stuff happening, honestly. It's just, I think that this season is might be like one of my favorite Diablo 2 seasons ever coming up. Another thing that was kind of surprising to me was magic arrow change, and that is actually just a fun build. Like it's actually super cheap. I put it somewhere down here, and like top of A tier. It's super cheap. Like I literally was running around it with a melody bow and like shredding stuff. Like that's a free bow basically. So that was a lot of fun. This this was a lot of fun. So just a quick breakdown, I guess. Some things to note, I guess, that are important are now you can only have 4 sockets on two-handed weapons, and let's actually like look at the notes directly here if we can find them again. Upcoming patch notes. So here you go. Two-handed weapons now roll 2 maximum sockets from Larzik puzzle box, 2 to 4, and then we have 2 to 4 from corruptions. Now roll 4 maximum sockets. So there you go. So that's cool. And then the same thing happens with bows. Is now we only have 4 sockets on bows, and that's part of the nerf that we had here on the multi-shot zones. So it kind of buffs Ellie zones and nerfs physical zones. So yeah, that nerf is huge, but now it's, in my opinion, easier to buff and nerf through affix, itemization, and jewels, and all that stuff than trying to worry about, man, I have 6 sockets. That's a lot of stuff. So I like the change. And yeah, so Frost Nova, I tested that. That was something that changed. Basically nothing changed. The early game got a little bit weaker, which makes sense with the change, but you know, end game's probably about the same. Facets, here's the warning, guys. Facets with the new Pierce mechanic happening. If you do not know, Pierce now pierces below 0% resistance against enemies at half efficiency. And that makes it so things like Infinity and Facets and all these things minus Fizz on items for physical builds and all these things, very, very strong. So Facets are going to be good. Pierce is going to be crazy good. All these stats are really important now. Plus skills are important, but I think minus enemy resistances is going to be really, really good for this season. Dark Pact is also another cheap option. Corpse Explosion, Necromancer. Like, it's cool to see the Necro still up here. Poison Nova Necro, I think this might get nerfed one more time. We'll see. He nerfed Death's Web again. I'm not sure if that was the play, in my opinion, but is what it is. We had Combustion Sork, very strong. And lots of mobility. Wind Druid. Also, guys, honestly, I would really recommend Wind Druid starting off. If you're thinking about it, this is a really good season for Wind Druid. The major change is because Twister was buffed. So that's good. Fire Druid is a lot of fun. I was just playing with that a little bit earlier today. But look at this. We have Multi-Shot, which is the physical build. We have Fire Arrow, which is like Fizz Fire. Magic Arrow, which is Magic Fizz. And then we have Cold Arrow, which is Cold Fizz. Like, they're all pretty close. So I'm really happy to see that. I personally would love to see a little bit more strength from Whirlwind in maps, but it's very good single target DPS. And Leap Attack is a very strong build in regards to like AoE and stuff. I'm expecting a small nerf with Leech on Leap Attack maybe, but I don't know. We'll see. It could be fine where it is. Honestly, if he touches nothing, I think the season's pretty good. As is. Maybe some bug fixes or some things that I personally haven't been testing myself, but it's been good. So anyways, is that pretty much it? That might be it. So very excited for the season. The only thing that's kind of a little disappointed is Vengeance Pally, but it's kind of a support character, but you know, is what it is. Blade Fury, super strong still. I just tested it, so super strong. S tier, like key farming. As long as you don't die to desync, because that's what was happening to me. Like desync and Uber or Ubers on the beta servers, rough, man. That can be rough. But anyways, definitely guys, go check this out. Link in the description again, and link in the description as well, or a description in the description about the player count change if you're interested in reading that. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, comment, you know, all that good streamer content creator stuff really does help me out. So much love guys. You guys are beasts. I need some freaking density, man. Wow, and I need to not desync. Holy. Can we? Nope. Alright. The answer is no. Game says nope. Because you're not gonna not put points into... Ooh, we got the new item. Is it ethereal? Nope. Every time we get the new item, chat, it's been ethereal. GG. New item. Let's go. I gotta go all the way, man. The boys got carry on wind before it gets mantled. Holy smokes. Did you delete it from the game? What is this RNG? Alright, Mordini. Alright, my bad. It's Mordini. Thank you. I guess I just had to call it by the right name. That was insane, bro. That was...